So in 1 year, I went from making barely $200,000 revenue in my business to $900,000, almost $1 million in annual revenue with my business, Crooked Calligraphy. And I was shocked. My family was shocked. My team was shocked. Everyone was shocked, except one person wasn't. And thank goodness for her. So, welcome back to Creative Business Real Talk. I'm Sheena, former corporate lawyer turned calligraphy teacher, and I tell you what it really takes to build a successful creative business. So, when I first started my calligraphy business, I was just doing like regular calligraphy jobs, envelopes, place cards, selling calligraphy products. I really, thought I would be just like a starving artist, but a happy one. And that is not what happened. And it's because of exquisite timing and catastrophic world events, and also because I did a whole lot of like scary ass things, like investing $15,000 in a mentor. And she's the one, by the way, who was not surprised when that investment led me to making $1 million in my business. She's the one who taught me how to take my tiny online course, Modern Calligraphy 101, and scale it way, way up. So in this episode, I'm going to dive way more into like how I scaled it up, how I was able to make that much money in 1 year, what that means for you, and what I'm actually making now and how that differs. So, part one, how was I able to scale my online course up so much? I think it boils down to three things. So, one, I created a good product. You couldn't do it if I didn't have a good product. And I'm just going to pat myself on the back here. I developed a fantastic online course. And I did that because I just never stopped trying to make it better. So I am a good teacher. I have a lot of teaching experience all through my life. I brought that all into how can I teach calligraphy in a way that's accessible and fun and makes sense and people don't give up. And I kept just looking at my students' results, talking to my students, figuring out what struggles they were running into so that I could give them the solutions before they could get frustrated. I added on personalized feedback. I hired some of my previous students to come on and give specific feedback to new students so that people were getting a one-on-one touch. And also, key thing is I thought about my students' mental and emotional struggles in addition to just teaching calligraphy technique. And I think that was really crucial to getting my students really good results. So that's number one. I created a really good product. Number two, I learned how to really talk to my potential customers. And this requires, again, trying, compassion, asking questions, talking to people, really trying to get into the heads of my students, what they wanted deep down, and what really was blocking them from going after it. And I did this by talking to my students a lot and also creating so much content. I was on Instagram posting daily, doing stories all day. I did a weekly Instagram live. I was answering comments and DMs. I did a weekly email, created YouTube videos, also that I could practice talking about the things that my students were really concerned about, honing my storytelling, really making my students, my potential customers say, "Oh my God, how did you get in my head? I was worrying that exact same thing. I really want to learn with you now." So again, a lot of effort put into just, okay, I really want to get to know y'all and present solutions to your specific problems. So that's number two. Number three is good old timing and luck. But I mean luck in the way that I think it was a Roman philosopher said, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. I got myself in the right place by investing with that mentor, right? That was a scary ass investment by putting my all into learning the system that she was teaching us. And that system, kind of in a nutshell, is okay, I have an online course. I'm going to create a free training that creates, it just has so much value in it. It answers so many questions. It provides enough of a mindset shift, enough of a sense of, oh my God, I could actually do this, so that the people watching it for free are getting a ton of value. And then some of those people decide, okay, I really want to keep learning with you, Sheena. That's kind of the system really simplified. But to support the system, I again created, so much content. I got into paid advertising, also very scary, but I hired someone and learned how to make that work, wrote better emails, again, just really worked at connecting with my audience. That was all in 2019. And then 2020 came around and pandemic, which was really scary and uncertain at first. And a lot of business owners pulled back, thinking, oh my gosh, I can't sell during this time, right? Everyone's so worried, the economy is collapsing. But it turned out to be a really huge moment of opportunity for online teachers because everyone's stuck at home in lockdown. Everyone's desperate to do something. Everyone's learning how to bake sourdough bread, right? And calligraphy was having a real moment, and I happened to be there, ready to meet all those people and give them the creativity and the inspiration and the hope that they were looking for. And my business really exploded in those years of the pandemic, 2020 and 2021. But again, it's because I got myself ready to meet that. Not everyone made millions of dollars during the pandemic, right? With even with online courses. But I really kept pushing myself to learn and grow and, meet that opportunity. So those are the three reasons I think why I was able to make so much money at that time. Good product, really understanding my customers, and good old timing. Now, here's part two. What does all this mean for you? Why am I even sharing this? Um, I want to encourage people to go after their creative business dreams. I'm not necessarily saying that everyone needs to go build an online course and you're going to immediately make $1 million. That is so far from the truth. It's times have changed. There's a lot that goes into it. The reason I share my story is because you cannot do unless you first dream. Let me say that another way. You can't take steps to go after something unless you believe that it's somewhat possible. I know this from my own life. Like, I didn't start my calligraphy business until I had done some research and talked to another calligrapher who was making six figures with her business. Then I thought, oh my gosh, it's possible. Wow, I never knew that. I'm going to go after it. I didn't make, that almost $1 million in my business until I was in a room with a mentor saying, you absolutely can do that. Here's exactly how. And I was surrounded by all these other entrepreneurs going after the same goal. I mean, you've heard that 4 minute mile story, right? Everyone thought it was like physically impossible for the human body to run a under 4 minute mile until one dude did it. And then now 2,000 people have done it, right? You can't go after something really until you have that sense of possibility. That's why I share my story, to help you stop looking at the reasons that you can't do this and start looking at the reasons that you can do this. So I'm going to close this out with what I'm making now, because pandemic was a while ago. The online course landscape has changed. Paid advertising has changed. But I'm really proud that even now, 5 years later, I am able to make multiple six figures with my business with a much leaner, simpler business. Fewer employees, less money spent on advertising, less systems, less everything, fewer students, so I can focus on each one more and still make enough money and bring home enough money to give my family a really good lifestyle. Not extravagant, but good. I think that is the more hopeful and inspiring story, more than just the flash in the pan, hey, I made this much money, right? It's that I am 10 years in and still really loving my business, and I have so much freedom because of it. And I want that for you too. So in the next episode, I'm going to share the one lesson from those crazy $1 million years that I want to pull out and tell to you as an early creative business owner, or maybe someone even just thinking about going on this journey. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one.